We were backstage laughing so much.
It's an empowering song.
Back into the United Kingdom.
We were just giving that day.
But now, Tom Hanks, sir, you've got a new movie out that you just went to the premiere of.
Yes, indeed.
Which I know is very close to your heart. But before we do, we just have to spend a few minutes, because you're here and you haven't been on the show, just to marvel at your career.
For sure.
It is an amazing... No. You know, most successful actors, their box office is kind of, in millions. Over $8 billion. Your movies are...
That's news to me. Hey. All right, then. All right. And why did I have to pay for this suit?
But isn't like that's like a country.
That's extraordinary.
That's like a successful country.
I could secede.
Yeah. You could be king of somewhere.
Then I could ask you to come and sing My Girlfriend is Hot Like You. What's your wish?
The Sleeps in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, all the 3 Toy Stories,
yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been
And
fun.
when you look back, is there one that you kind of like, you think, that's the one I'm really happy I said yes to?
Well, I got to tell you, when we did Apollo 13, it was the first time I was only with 2 other guys for, like, most of the movie. And I have to tell you, you might have noticed this on some, Band of Brothers. When 3 guys are making the movie, the jokes become so filthy as of lunchtime of the first day of shoot. And I got to tell you, Kevin Bacon and Bill Paxton, who were in the capsule with me, know the foulest joke. And we were trying to, like, out-foul and out-gross each other, And that's how we spent most of our trip to the moon, saying, all right, a guy is hunting and a bear comes into his tent. And then you just go from there. You're in big trouble.
And in your first kind of big movie, Splash, I mean, that must have been a really horrible job, all the underwater scenes.
Well, that was, it was kind of, there we were. There was no way, everybody said, how did you shoot those underwater scenes? Well, we jumped in the water, we down and held our breath, and then we shot it. It's amazing how they did that, no special effects. But we had to learn how to scuba dive, and because I'm in clothes, there was always an air tank, somewhere up there, because we're in about 30 feet of water. But they had this underwater phone booth that was weighted down with a dome on the bottom of the ocean down in the Bahamas, and the dome was filled with water. So if Ron Howard, the director, had to give us an instruction, he would swim over there, and I would get towed by a safety diver, because I couldn't swim because I had iron weights in my pants to keep me down.
Okay.
So he would tow me over there and stick my head up, in this dome of water, which was about that big, and then I'd wait, and then Ron's head would come up with a regulator in his mouth. And all right, that's good. That's good. If you could just have more wonder. I need to have the eyes open a little bit more, and don't look like you're out of breath. All right? All right. And then that's literally a director. And then I would get towed back to wherever we're shooting. I would try to remember what he said, but essentially that is actually an exercise in not dying.
Yeah.
And then when we did not get killed, that's what they put in.
It went well.
It went good enough. Yeah.
Nicole, if you were to pick a Tom Hanks film, what would you pick?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in love with Big.
Oh, all right.
I always wanted to do the dun,
Careful.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry.
Whoa!
I have shortsies on underneath. I'm a lady.
Camera 5 went red real quick.
That's what I was trying to do, guys.
What?
Oh, the jump.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
piano day.
Oh, yes.
That
Bob
one.
Lozier,
Yeah.
Don't do that. One of my favorites was Philadelphia, and luckily I'm sober now, I can tell you that. I met Denzel Washington when I was drunk, and I started to cry telling him how much... And he just looked really embarrassed. As was I. Anyway, what's interesting now is that you've written and directed this new movie, Larry Crowne, which I've seen. It's a really lovely film. It's funny, it's sweet, it's...
a little...
Yeah.
There you go.
And then it's not you and Julia Roberts.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
We were... here's sort of like tagline. Larry Crowne loses his job and goes back to college. Julia Roberts is one of his professors. And guess what happened? You figure it out, maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, and you wrote it and directed it.
Yeah,
okay.
myself. Yeah. It was an interesting phone call. Hey, Julia, listen. Believe it or not, this is a business call.
And we've got a clip of you and Julia in action.
I predict every man in the UK will want to start wearing one of those helmets. Because if you can land Julia Roberts wearing a helmet as stupid as that, you must be one charming charming
That's so big.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Because I noticed even in the poster, you're not wearing the helmet.
No. We've run into problems with some, hey, where's the safety helmet there on the scooter? He says, oh, come on, I'm trying to be like Steve McQueen.
And obviously, in the last film you directed, That Thing You Do, it was a cast of, mostly unknown actors.
Yeah, about a band in 1964, yeah.
This time, Julia Roberts, can you direct someone like Julia Roberts, or is it collaborative?
Well, it's very collaborative, because Julia is incredibly smart and forceful. Meaning that when we were starting to talk about it, she said, okay, I read it. Here's some things, and she talked, and and I said, I agree, let's go to it. But you don't want to waste anybody's time, but specifically, you don't want to waste Julia's. Not someone who's going to, suffer fools, nor should she. So we were all on our toes the days that she worked, and I specifically want to make sure that everything we did together was going to be fun, and it was better than it would have been, if she had just did it as it was originally written. Because you know what always happens when guys write screenplays? The girls, the women in their lives all say, this is what they say. They say things like, when are you coming home? Don't worry, honey. You can do it if you try hard enough. I'm worried about Bobby. That's all they really get to say. So I wanted to make sure I had a forceful woman who was really going through something.
And listen, it's out on July the 1st.
July the 1st. Right around the corner, almost.
Yes, and in theatres everywhere, I'm guessing. And talking about working with people you admire, Simon Pegg, in Paul, you got Sigourney Weaver on board. And you are a genuine Sigourney Weaver fan.
I was, yeah. In fact, I used to do a bit of stand-up and had a routine about Sigourney, and it's very odd to be, as much as it is to be saying this to you now, about your film.
She's
awesome. I mean, she's so, it's still an incredible beauty, and Nick Frost and I were just sort of like, when she came on set, it was like the Queen coming on set.
How did you get her?
We just sent her the script, and she liked it. And she was our dream casting. Well, why not? Let's just send it to her and see what she says. And we got 2 weeks later, yeah, she's going to do it. So she came on set, and Nick and I were like, hi, how you going? Hi. And she was sat on her own on set in the evening, and Nick and I sort of went over and, do you want to come over and hang out with us? We're sitting over here. But, she was so lovely. And
then you've written a poem about her.
I did write a poem about her. In my stand-up, I wrote a poem about her, but...
what words rhyme with Sigourney?
Horny, of course.
Oh!
I've got a massive link. I know what you make me think of. My penis.
And talking about Paul, we must mention it further, because it is now available in Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
It's in shops 13th of June.
Yes, comes out on 13th of June.
13th.
It seems so quick. And it came out in February, and it's so quick nowadays, isn't it? The turnaround to DVD is so fast. It used to be like 5 years or something, and now it's 3 months.
Is it 6 months?
Yeah.
Getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah, well, growing up in Ireland, it'd be so long before it even got to the cinema. People were dead who were going to see their films.
You thought the soundtrack to every movie was this.
And this is it's you, Nick Frost, and an alien.
Yes.
On a road trip across America.
Yes. Seth
Have
Rogen.
I left anything out?
No, that's what it is. With Seth Rogen as the.
It's a really funny movie. It's a very, very funny movie. Here's a clip to remind ourselves.
Yeah. Oh no, that was a green screen.
But you really did do a road trip, you and Nick.
Yeah, we did. We drove from LA down to Vegas, then across through Nevada, Utah, Wyoming. Realised just how huge that place is. I mean, it's just such a massive country. You don't know until you get out just how vast it is. And we nearly died a couple of times. We met some hicks. A lot of it went into the script. There's a couple of guys we meet in the film, played by Dave Kettner and Jesse Plemons, in the Little Ailey Inn, which is the little diner on the edge of Area 51. And Nick and I arrived there, and it's full of, like, UFO paraphernalia, and we were like, oh, this is great. We're the only guys there, and we were putting on alien masks and talking about spaceships and stuff. And then these two guys came in, like, hunting suits with rifles on their backs, and we just went... And everything went really quiet, and we just sort of left really frightened. And we thought, what if they catch up with us and it's going to be like Deliverance? They're going to, you know, do things to us.
You got to get to America a little more often.
It's the first time since Deliverance.
And Nicole, you kind of grew up in the middle of nowhere, didn't you?
I was born in Hawaii, and